Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today for our first edition of our 12 Days of Small Businesses Spotlight Series. I'm joined today by Jonny and Jesse from Jonny the Barber. Thanks guys for joining me today.
Thank you.
So Jonny, I guess I'll start with you. Can you tell me a little bit about Jonny the Barber and how you guys got started?
Yeah, so Jonny the Barber started with just, me, myself, cutting in my garage when I was 16. Quickly transitioned into, kind of getting a little bit busier, got into a barber shop on Main Street in Williamsville, cut there for a couple years, added a guy, added 2 guys, added 3 guys, and it, became time to kind of find our own space. So we found a barber shop in Tonawanda that we ended up renovating, which is where we are now. We have another location. There's 8 total barbers, and I'm glad Jesse, being one of our original barbers from, we opened this place 6 years ago, for joining us today too. Right.
Now Jesse, how did you, become involved with Jonny in the barbershop here?
Jonny and I, we've known each other for quite some time. We were friends as young kids. Our families are connected through the church. My grandfather is a pastor. My other grandfather was a barber, so that's kind of how I got started.
Gotcha.
And eventually we linked up. I went to him for haircuts, and when
horrible client. He was a horrible client.
He was a great client. I brought cannolis. It was fun.
Lemonades, always late.
Yeah.
I was a real time stickler back in the day.
You were on a
now I
ship.
really evened out.
Right. Okay.
I'm like a go with the flow now.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Seems like you're on a pretty tight ship.
But I may or may not have fired Jesse as my client. And
oh boy.
and
we'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. So what services do you guys offer if a new client wanted to come in and try you guys out?
Haircuts, shaves. We do beard enhancements, which is like coloring and just making them look really nice. Shampoos at our downtown shop because we have a shampoo sink. Beard services, full beards, big beards, short ones.
Dyeing beards.
Yeah, pretty much your all around just grooming. If there's hair, we'll cut it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what people want to hear. So that's awesome. So if you don't mind me asking, how has COVID impacted, your small business?
Oh wow, where do we start?
Yeah. So you want to kick that one off?
Yeah, I'll kick it off and let Jesse finish it. COVID, through the ups and downs, we were a shop in the beginning of COVID that we actually closed a week before we were mandated to close because we kind of saw it happening and unfolding in other states. And we actually had a meeting. I was at work on a Tuesday and I was talking with one of my clients who's in the medical field, and I really started to think man, what are we doing by staying open? Are we adding to the issue? So we actually had a shop meeting that night on FaceTime, and we decided to close for Wednesday. So we closed Wednesday, and then the next week is when everything actually got mandated to shut down. But by the grace of God, us closing, Jesse's client the next day, who was gonna come in for a haircut, actually ended up having COVID, and that was back in March, mid-March, when the hospitals were getting overwhelmed, and pretty much if you got COVID, people were dying left and right.
Right.
Now they know how to handle it a little bit better, but we didn't even know. We were cleaning things and sanitizing that week, but that was one of those things. But moving forward, COVID, we closed for 3 months. We got a little grant from the government, but it wasn't even enough to cover expenses for 3 months, so we were dealing with that aspect. And then we hung plexiglass sheets and masks and all this stuff to open. We're able to open. We're starting to roll. Our new barbers, we actually had 2 new barbers join in June when we were able to open, and we're rolling business wise. Everything's looking up. The guys are starting to get busier, the new guys and whatnot. And then boom, now we're shut down again. And it's this one is it almost, I don't want to say the fatal blow, but this one definitely feels it's a lot tougher to.
Yeah, it's more of a hit.
Yeah, this one's more of a hit, morale-wise, business-wise. This one's like that. Because, we cut a lot of people in the service industry. Servers, bartenders.
Absolutely.
Other hair cutters. These are all people affected by this who, when a server doesn't have a job, they're not going to come in and get their haircut. So it's everything needs to kind of be...
Trainers, gyms, that kind of stuff.
It seems like it's almost like a ripple effect.
Oh my God.
Especially with the structure of it now, because I was talking earlier, you could drive 5 minutes down the street here to North Tonawanda, and be in Niagara County and go get your haircut there.
Right.
Like luckily we've established our brand. We do have loyal clients and loyal customers, so it's not something we're too concerned about.
But it's like one of those things that like it almost doesn't feel fair because you know, 5-minute drive over a canal can determine if you're allowed to stay open or closed.
Yeah.
Right.
And the problem with the closing is we're all for a closure to help, you know, get rid of COVID.
Right.
But the governor and the government, they're not paying us anything to be closed. So it's like,
Right.
hey man, you gotta close your business down because of COVID, even though right down the street they could be open and the malls are packed and Walmart's packed and Home Depot's packed and big corporations are packed.
Right.
And we get nothing to be closed. We don't get any like bill deferment. It's just like you're expecting small business to really like, I mean,
We still got
survive
bills.
without
We just-
any
yeah.
business.
Yeah, these lights
I
still
mean,
gotta stay on.
and things like that. Like
Right.
if these are the things that, you know, we're being told work, like do them.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for sitting down with us today. Thank you everyone for joining us for our small business Christmas series with Jesse and Johnny from Johnny the Barber. We will attach a link to their website and their social media pages following this video. So thanks everyone, and we hope to see you next time.